Welcome to Vision Forward's Tech Connect Live, connecting you to the world of assistive technology. And now, here are your hosts, Corey and Luke.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah. I started the show off muted, but hopefully we have this rectified now.
Do me a favor, double-click the second button there.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I accidentally bumped it, I think. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is smooth sailing.
It's perfectly smooth sailing. We've had a very smooth morning. Everything working properly. Everything going great.
Yes.
Yeah, and we hope everybody else is having a lovely morning. It is December, believe it or not, end of the year.
Believe it or not.
I didn't know we were going to get a concert this morning.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Suddenly got very chorusy.
Who is that song by, Corey?
I do not know, actually.
Okay,
No, and
fair enough.
I apologize.
Well,
Isn't it it's from a movie, I think, though? Believe it
Is
or
it?
not, I'm walking on air, never thought I would.
The greatest American hero.
That's
theme?
it, yeah.
Wow, that's
I
good
think that
work.
is it. Nice.
That was
Good
producer
pull.
Jonathan that you heard in the background there. He's the man with the computer. If you have any questions about anything, he would be happy to answer them at any point during the show.
Yes, absolutely anything.
Yeah,
does not matter.
Anything. Doesn't matter, especially if it's not related to assistive technology. You
Right.
know. Just any general knowledge.
Any
question.
80s music / movies, soundtracks, he is your man.
Indeed. Anyway, as I was saying, hope everybody is having a great day today, and I think you will all agree that this year has absolutely flown by, as they usually tend to do, especially as you get older, so they say. But it's been a year for assistive technology. I'm not going to say it's been a fantastic year, because we were coming up with a list of things, Corey and I, yesterday, of things that we could talk about, and we didn't necessarily, come up with that many. I'm not sure how many things released this year, but luckily for us, we have the man himself,
The legend,
the legend,
the myth.
The myth,
the legend.
Well, he's not a myth because he's actually like right here. So
Maybe this is his time to prove he's not a myth.
Okay, fair enough. We have Sam
coming
Seavey
out
from The Blind Life. Hello, Sam.
Hello, guys. Thank you very much for having me. I have a quick question for Jonathan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, shoot.
Who's that scary guy over Luke's right shoulder in the background there, standing all menacingly?
Yeah, so that's actually me. I don't move my head when I speak, and I've been wearing this all gray uniform for several months.
Yeah, you also look somewhat cuboid almost.
Yes,
It's
very
more
ambiguous.
Stance thing, but
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
See, Jonathan is a little bit strange, but he does a great job, though. He does a great job. Thank you for coming on, Sam. It's always a pleasure. I was looking back to my text messages to you, and the last one I sent you was September of last year when I said, "Hey, Sam, are you connecting to the meeting?" So I'm guessing that must be the last time that we had you on the show. It's always
We don't text. We email much more often than that, but we don't text, I guess.
This is very true. But yes, so I think you must have come on last year, just a little bit before this, and I think we must have had an end of year wrap up last year as well. But my memory's a little hazy.
I don't think we did, honestly. And I don't remember what we did last September.
I don't remember what show that might have been.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, but anyway, it's very nice to have you here. And today we're going to be talking about assistive technology that we have seen this year, and that and what we thought of it basically. And Sam, I did send you a list, but it was only yesterday. I'm not sure if you had a chance to take a look over that, but those were some of the things that we thought of.
Yeah, I did, and you're absolutely right. It wasn't the most stellar year for AT,
No.
especially like new products and stuff. But there's some things on there we can kind of chat about.
Yeah, I think there's some things worth
It's
talking about.
a very short show. We're like, yeah, nothing exciting. Thanks, guys,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Everything was very.
We'll see you in 2023 or 2023. See how it goes.
Exactly. Yes, in the meantime, before we get started, Sam, and you may already be aware of this, we like to do a joke. Okay. Now, of course, I didn't warn you that this is the case, but we didn't prepare a joke because we were too busy trying to get things.
No, I do have one. My son,
oh, wait, okay.
my son, who has come up with a number of jokes, came up with one this week.
Yes. Well, don't say it just yet.
I won't. So I do have one for us.
Here's the deal. We do have at least one joke in the chat here. So we're going to start with that one. Then we're going to give Sam an opportunity if he has a joke. If you don't, Sam.
Oh, gosh.
All
right.
I know, right? And then we will move on to Corey's son's joke here. So from the chat, from Paula. Thank you, Paula.
Oh, Paul and Paula, yeah.
Yeah, I believe you saw Paula just yesterday.
I did.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
When? Tuesday.
Yes, okay. From Paula, what do you call a kid who does not believe in Santa?
Sad.
Well, yeah, that's very true.
Giftless. I don't know.
Giftless, yeah. Anybody else have any ideas? Sam, do you have any idea? I don't know if you have seen the answer already in the chat there, but...
One of these conspiracy theorists.
Very good. The answer is a rebel without a clause.
Claws. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, sorry. Yes. That is this one. Oh, wrong one. Well, we'll give them...
Wow. Very
And they can have that too. And how about that?
You're just throwing them out here.
All right.
Very good. Very good.
It's been a bit since I used I forget what just
wiggles out.
Hey, it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the fun.
Yes.
Sam, do you happen to have a joke, or shall we ask Corey his joke?
Well, yeah, I'll give you my kind of go-to favorite blind joke.
Okay.
It's kind of an old one, so you might have heard it before, but why don't more blind people skydive?
Ooh, I know the answer, but I won't say anything.
I don't know the answer. I don't think I've heard
It's a
this
goodie.
before.
It's a good one.
Skydive. Jonathan, any ideas?
Well, why don't more of them?
Yeah.
Why don't more? Because some people do, but why don't more?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any puns with skydiving terminology, but I'm coming up blank here. So unfortunately, we found a gap in my knowledge.
Okay, well, Sam, why don't you tell us?
Because it scares the heck out of the dogs.
All right. That's a good one. All right, here we go. Round of applause. Now open his whip. Hey.
Yeah, don't give me the wah wah.
I had not heard that one before.
That's actually a really good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, very good. Okay, and for Corey then, Corey's son.
So my son tends to make up risque jokes a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm
Nice.
going to apologize. This one's he's 11 years old. This one he came up with, and it's not too bad.
Okay.
What do they call the back of Mount Rushmore?
It's funny already.
What do they call the back of Mount Rushmore?
It's going to be the rear end of those people. So
Kind
I
of,
think
yeah.
it has something to do
Yes,
with that.
that is correct.
Knowing your
Most
son.
11-year-old sons have
exactly,
the boys, yeah. The answer is Mount Cracksmore.
Nice.
11-year-old.
He thought it was just the best joke that's ever been told.
And this one, I assume he made up himself, Corey.
He told me he did.
Yeah, because I think your son has got an excellent future in writing jokes for crackers.
Absolutely.
Actually, do you guys have crackers here?
Like cookies, you mean?
No. Okay, so in England, we have a tradition at Christmas. We have things called crackers. If anybody has enjoyed crackers, please put it into the chat.
I mean, when you say is it a brand or an actual?
No, it's a
like we
genetic
eat
term.
cheese and crackers.
Like a
No, not like
party
that.
favor.
Type of gift, is it not? It's like a rolled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pull it apart.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cardboard tube. It has an explosive in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean it literally does. You pull it apart and it explodes. Okay. It makes a cracking noise, and there's usually a gift inside. A paper crown.
Like extra fingers?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, exactly. A bandage, a paper crown and a little
joke
and a joke, yeah. So I think
And fun fact, that's the leading cause of blindness in the UK.
It's crackers. You think they'd stop the tradition, but no, they are.
It's too much fun.
Full
that's the
steam
problem.
ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so very average jokes there from everybody. So
I would,
except for Paula. Paula's no, actually Sam's is very good. So it's just yours that is very
that's pretty bad. Hey, I never said it was a good show.
Okay, just in the chat here, let's see. Alicia says, happy holiday to each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And to you also. And that song is from Greatest American Hero. Thanks to the power of Jonathan, we had already found that out, but it seems that Alicia has her own power as well of knowledge. So thank you very much.
I'm actually also Alicia.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot. Dave says, a raven has 17 flight feathers. They are called pinions. A crow has 16 flight feathers. Therefore, the difference between a raven and a crow is a matter of opinion. Hey. I didn't even
notice
notice
for a moment there that Dave just really liked ravens, and he was like, hey, check out these facts I know. But then
Yeah, if anybody has any interesting facts at any point, please feel free to put them in the chat too.
Our joke corner hour is now turning into interesting facts.
It is, yeah. I'm totally fine with that. Amber says, in answer to our question, our joke about what do you call a kid who does not believe in Santa, Amber says an adult. Well, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah,
Brutal.
that's
My
fair point.
my son, they're also his big thing. They want us to tell them about Santa Claus. My kids, like they want to know if he really
The truth
exists
about
or not.
Santa.
Yeah,
The
and
truth
his
about Santa.
reasoning was, he's like, Dad, you got to tell me if Santa's real or not, because when I grow up and I have my own kids, I don't want to be sitting with my kid the night of Christmas thinking Santa's coming and then none of us get presents.
So he's basically like, I need to know whether to buy gifts for my children.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty good logic.
It's smart. It's smart. So
And
what
then
did you tell him?
And then it just made me think of him as a dad sitting there with his kid, like, is Santa coming? Is Santa coming?
That's cute though.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Sam, you have kids, right? But I believe they're teenage girls. Is that right? Or am I making this up?
I know. I have one. I have a daughter and a son. My son is 24, and my daughter is 17.
Okay, excellent. And do either of them still believe in Santa?
No. And it was. Well, I mean, obviously Santa's totally real, but it was a very traumatic experience when my daughter finally kind of found out. Yeah.
Did you
so
get stuck in the chimney dressed up as Santa, or I mean, how traumatic was it?
No, but I on a side note, I love the thought of like Corey said, as his son's an adult sitting there waiting with his child, thinking, I don't know, buddy. I don't know if you're going to get presents this year. We got about 20 more minutes until we're going to know for sure. You know.
And then he calls me, and I got to come rushing over to give presents.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse not to buy presents for your kids, because you can just say, well, sorry, but Santa didn't come. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not my fault.
He's missing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple more things in the chat here. From Dr. Somebody, I apologize, I don't see your whole name here. Just Dr. D is all I see. But from Dr. D,
it's a great name right there.
That's all you need.
What do you call a pig with laryngitis? Now, we don't have the answer here either, so I don't know.
Swine.
You call it laryngitis makes you cough, right? Or sore throat. A pig on a stick?
Of the voice box.
Pig on a stick?
Pig Latin? No, I don't know.
The voice box?
Yeah.
I don't know. Please, Dr. D, please let us know. And Howard has a computer question already.
Hello, Howard.
Disgruntled. Hey!
Oh, that's pretty good.
Very good. Thank you, Dr.
Nice.
D. That one's pretty good. Excellent. Howard has a computer question. How do you export my Chrome favorites to an HTML file? That is a very good question. And off the top of my head, I have no clue.
It is not easy. I think they make exporting them out into HTML. There's a whole big, long process. Howard, call me.
But here's the thing. Okay. If you're just setting up a new computer, you don't need to, because you can just sign into your Chrome profile.
Yeah.
And then you'll get all your favorites anyway. But, But Howard says, I am making my stream XPFS playlist accessible on the computer. VLC Media Player will only play them in line. So whatever that means, thank you. But anyway, with all that being said, let's talk about some assistive technology from this year. Oh, Sam, also, I didn't know, maybe you wanted, and maybe you don't, I don't know. But I noticed you have a new series on your channel about working professionals. And I believe there's 3 episodes up at the moment. I don't know if you wanted to take a minute to talk about that series and what's going on with that.
Sure. Yeah. So it kind of was spawned out of the fact that over the years, I've gotten that question so many times. I'm sure you guys have as well. People asking what kind of jobs can blind people do? It kind of oftentimes goes hand in hand with what classes should blind people take in college? And my response is always, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do that. Right. That's what you want to do. Do that. You know, it's like, it's easier for me to tell you how many jobs we can't do. You know, I can list that list, but I can't list what we can do. And so in an effort to help inspire people and teach people about what's available to them, potentially, I decided to do this series in December, where every other day in December, I am putting out a new interview with some really cool VIP in the community and talk about what they do, and some general questions about accommodations, you know, how long they've been doing it, that sort of thing, just to, once again, hopefully get the information out there of what is possible. And yes, we've got a couple episodes up so far. Based on the response, it's been very, very popular.
Great.
I'm sure we will continue this. Maybe every December or something, we'll do the series. Corey, I'm probably going to be reaching out to you, sir, for an interview.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing to do, Sam. So yeah, kudos for coming up with that idea. And also, it sounds like it must have been a lot of work, because if you're releasing one every other day, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of interviews there. So
it is. Yeah. Luckily, interviews are easier to edit, so I can knock those out pretty quick. But I have to. In case she sees this in the future, I do have to give full credit to my wife. This was her idea. She keeps reminding me to tell people that, because I haven't yet. But yes, thank you, Rachel. She's the one that came up with the idea.
Credit where credit's due. And if people want to hear from your wife, then they can listen to your monthly live stream. Remind me what the name of that is again, Sam?
It's Talk Back with the Blind Life. Yes. It's our video podcast that we do every month, where we kind of answer comments, frequently asked questions and comments from the previous month's videos. Yeah. And then we end up just laughing, having a great time, and we've been doing that now for a year and a half.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's awesome. And I believe your wife is off camera, but people can hear her talking. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's shy.
Okay. Well, that's really great. So some cool stuff going on with your channel, and obviously you had. Also for people who don't know, and I think everybody probably will, but I did put your channel into the chat there as well. So it should just be youtube.com/theblindlife. Is that
correct?
The correct URL? Yeah. So everybody, if you're not aware or if you haven't been there, definitely go and check out Sam's channel. Yeah. And you have a whole New Year's worth of content this year, as do we also. And so, so we're going to talk about some of the things that we have had a chance to look at this year, some new things, or it doesn't necessarily have to be things that released this year, but maybe just something that you checked out for the first time this year as well. And we're going to give our thoughts about those things. And if anybody in the chat saw any assistive technology this year, or any consumer technology, really just anything that they checked out for the first time this year and thought was cool, then feel free to also put that in the chat as well. But in the meantime, let's get started. So I have a list on my phone here of things that we came up with. And the first thing on the list is the Arx Vision glasses. So that seems like a good place to start there, because I know, Sam, that you saw the Arx Vision as well, right? Because you have a video on the Arx Vision, is that correct?
No, I don't have a video. I did an evaluation though this year with them, and so I have seen it. It's actually sitting on a shelf over here somewhere, but cool. Awesome. Haven't officially made a video yet.
Okay, fair enough. So we did do a video that released a couple of months?
No, a month ago.
A month ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So we did a video that released a month ago. Now, these guys, I actually did have the opportunity to meet with them a few years ago when I was still working at the Chicago Lighthouse. At the time, their device was called the Horus, and it was coming out of Italy. They came and showed it to me there, and it wasn't particularly great at the time. Things changed and everything, and now they have the Arx Vision. And Corey and I looked at it, and if you want to see, just all of the different features and stuff, then you could go check out our video. And I think it's fair to say that we felt it had some strengths and some weaknesses.
Yeah, I think for those who hadn't had a chance to check out our video, basically it is a bone conduction pair of headphones with a camera built in, wire connecting directly into your Android smartphone, only Android smartphone. And then it gives you very similar features that you might see like in Seeing AI or Envision AI app, where you get short text, full document reading, facial recognition, scene description, things like that. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good start. I personally wouldn't purchase one just yet. I think there was some definite things that were holding it back.
Some things didn't work quite properly.
Well, that and a combination of there are alternative ways to do the same thing for much less expensive. If you already have the Android phone, then you have access to Envision AI for free now, where you can do short text, you can do full document, you can do facial recognition. Yep.
So really, and Google Lookout as well.
Exactly. So then at this point, really what the Arx Vision is providing he was doing it hands-free. Now, we did say, like, when the Be My Eyes and Ira integration rolls in, that'll be a bit of a plus in its category, because now you're getting hands-free camera with those sighted assistant apps. But at this point, I think there's cheaper and honestly better ways to do some of that stuff.
Yeah,
but there's potential.
And price-wise, I think we were looking at what, $15.99, something
12 or $13.99, something like. So you're still talking. I mean, you're under $1,500, but still, that's a lot of.
For an AT device, it's cheap, but you know, just as a general purchase, it's still, you know, fairly expensive, and it does have to connect to your own Android phone.
How was your experience with it, Sam? I'm curious. What were your thoughts?
So yeah, very similar to what you guys have said. You know, I like certain things about it. I like the user interface. I liked all the little sound cues, very melodic sound cues that they have. I liked how you could just you know, swipe back and forth to each feature or using the buttons. I liked certain aspects of the hardware. The very big tactile buttons; those were great. The bone conducting headphones, I've never been a big fan of bone conducting headphones.
Feels exactly the same.
Yeah, they just, the vibration in my head, it's annoying. And you know, Corey can probably relate, being visually impaired, we rely so much on hearing that you know, at first glance you would think that being able to keep your ears open would be a benefit. But it's really hard for me to focus on the headphones when I'm hearing everything else around me. But, and then the other thing with the hardware, which may only be because I have a giant head, is that it just wasn't comfortable. It wasn't big enough for me.
Same problem as well.
Yeah, that was our video, same thing. I've never had in those specifically, I've used some of the AfterShokz ones, and they were better, but these, any of those that have that firm plastic around the back of the neck,
right?
One size. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the camera module unit was a little heavy, so it kind of weighed down on that one side. And then the main issue I had with it was that my app was crashing left and right. Yeah, just all, like, so many times during my testing. And you know, they said that's obviously fixable and updates and all of that, but you know, I told them, well, that's
Sam, because I don't think we got a single crash.
No
Maybe we
one,
but
we had one.
I don't ever recall thinking to myself, man, this thing's crashing a lot. So it's
it was
maybe they
almost
address that.
Maybe it was almost unusable when I was testing it.
That's not good. So we didn't have that problem. So I think they have fixed that aspect at least. I think our main issue with it was that
the temperature.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
it
does get kind of warm,
pretty warm
on the head. So that was definitely one issue there.
For any length of time. It gets
I got a sunburn on the right side of
my head. Exactly. But then other than that, like the OCR, I actually thought was fairly decent, and I liked the way it gave instructions for positioning the text. I thought all of that stuff worked quite well. But the other features really, like, they weren't very, very great. Like, for example, we did object identification. We were trying to locate chairs, having a lot of problem doing it. You would never do it because it's just so much effort, you know, and it just doesn't work properly.
And that's a conversation we've had before. Like, first of all, and for the Arx Vision, like, these limitations are less about the device itself and just where that object and scene description is, and you know, what the capabilities of AI is. But there's also the piece of, and we did this in our video, where, like, you know, you use a facial recognition and it takes, you know, the Arx Vision especially took, you know, a good minute and a half for it to say Luke, where I could just pop my head and go, Luke, you in here? Yep. Okay, thank you. You know, and that's somewhat too, or where we talk is like, what's the realistic use case of some of these things where, sure, when you read it on paper, it sounds cool, and then you try it and it sounds cool, but then you're like, oh, in real life, I would never do this.
So it's you know, it's not a bad device. I think it has potential, but it's, you know, it's not amazing either.
The cool thing about that device and any other device, even some of the apps that are cell phone based, the hardware itself is just the camera. I mean, all of the brains is software. So that Arx Vision, I mean, with software updates, it's going to continue to get better and better and better and better. I mean, at some
2 cameras.
Yes, and at some point, you know, we're going to be talking about how great these devices are to walk into a room and know everything that's going on. And so we're just not there yet.
Yeah, there's a challenge with the speed of recognition and the usefulness of recognition, and being able to tell you how far away things are and give you usable directions to get to them and stuff like that. So
Also, false positives in the scene descriptions.
Yes, yeah. So there's a lot of room for improvement in general with that side of things. But you know, if you want a wearable OCR device and you have an Android phone and the OrCam is out of price range, then you know it's out there, and the OCR stuff is at least decent, I would say. So,
Sam, I'm just curious. This is a product that's not, well, maybe it is on our list, and maybe it's a good transition. But how would you? I have not had a chance to test the Envision AI glasses. How would you compare Envision AI's glasses to like the Arx Vision when we look at like short text and full document reading? How would you say they compare to each other?
Well, I'll preface by saying it's been quite a while since I tested the glasses, and then also once again, I can only go by what my experience was with the Arx Vision.
Sure.
So I would say Envision outperformed it all around, just because it wasn't crashing on me.
Yeah, right, that definitely helps. Sure.
You know, I did have some issues with some of the features on Envision as well. I think they've updated it quite a bit since I had a chance to test it out. So I think they fixed a lot of those issues. But just comparing the two, my experiences with the two, I would say Envision was better.
Okay, very nice. How much do the Envision cost, Sam? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's around the same as the other wearables, like 2,500, something around there.
Okay. And everything's built in with those ones, right? We're not connecting to an external phone or anything like that.
Correct. Yeah, it's using Google Glass headset, goggle, whatever you want to call them. Little bit of a drawback. Since it's a fixed unit, it's only on the right side. So if you're a left-hander, you're gonna have to get used to using your right hand.
Sure.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I was actually just on their website looking it up, and some of the photos that they show have it on the left side, but they must have reversed the images then, because
they've changed the design.
Oh yeah.
One of the
Maybe
things
the
I
newer
see
Google
here.
Glass maybe are reversible, or I mean, I don't know how many versions of research, how many they put out.
It looks like this one's taken into a mirror.
But
it's not immediately clear that that's the case.
Right. So you may or may not be able to use it if you're left-handed.
I don't think you could put it on your left. It looks like this is a mirror.
You think it's just okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about operation, Sam? How easy or not is it to operate?
It was fairly easy. It was I didn't have any problems. I didn't have any negative experience with that. It seemed pretty easy to operate. A couple of the features of the modes were not offline. You had to be connected to internet. At the time that I reviewed it, even the Envision Ally, calling an ally, you had to be on internet. So I actually was like, I told my daughter, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go walk about 3 blocks out in our neighborhood. Right. And then I'm going to recording myself. I'm going to call you and you're going to be my Envision ally and you're going to help me like read a sign or something. Yep. And I walk all the way out there carrying my camera on my tripod and all this stuff. I get all set up and then I go to call her and it says, you must be connected to internet. Oh, geez. What? How useful is that going to be?
Right. Is there a way to like hotspot to your phone, do you think? Or is it just, I'm just thinking, wow. So it just.
No, yeah. Yeah, and there was some other, there's like scene recognition. I forget exactly which ones. There were a few others that also needed to be connected to Wi-Fi. Yeah, and I even said that in the video. I said, if I could use a hotspot on my phone, that would maybe be good. I mean, the glasses are connected to the Envision app anyways. I couldn't understand why I couldn't use the mobile data on my phone to make the call. Yeah. But I think that is one of the things they have fixed since then.
You would sure hope so.
Yeah. What's the point? Yeah.
cool.
Well, that's cool. Svetlana here does confirm that you can use a hotspot with them now. And also that they have Ira on Envision already.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
I want to get a pair in. I think they'd be worth
Yeah, we should check them out for sure.
now.
And then also there are voice commands available for operation as well. So thank you, Svetlana, for that. So yeah, with the Ira service, I mean, that's definitely a nice thing considering Ira don't have their own glasses anymore.
I would like to see these companies who are in that are integrating Ira to make sure they're integrating Be My Eyes as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think more options the better, especially with Ira just recently changing. It's no longer 5 minutes once a day. Now it's 5 minutes every 48 hours.
Oh, is it
I
really?
believe?
Oh,
or is
no.
it
Yeah.
48 hours? Yeah, I think it's 48
Yeah,
hours.
2 days, yeah.
They're now changing some of that, which, you know, I'll be honest, makes me a little nervous about longevity, although I will also be honest and say Ira has been around longer than I thought they would be, just from the, I love the service and I think it's one of a kind and terrific, but I just think the model is really tough.
I mean, you can see why they're making it every 48 hours, because obviously they need to make money, right? So,
exactly.
I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, it's tough if you've been relying on that, you know, once a day, 5-minute call or whatever.
But I do, so I'd love to see Be My Eyes getting, also getting included in most of these. And I think they are.
By the way, as we talk about things, if anybody doesn't know what something is and needs us to elaborate, then just let us know in the chat, because sometimes we're going to throw out names or whatever that you might not be aware of. All right,
Can you
cool.
tell me what Ira is? No, I'm just
Tell you what, just watch our video. You'll be fine. All right. Let's break it up a little bit here. I do have we have a bunch of wearable devices. I mean, it kind of makes sense because wearables are, you know, one of the more developing areas in the low vision and assistive technology. I think you would agree, Sam, that there's still a lot of room for improvement with a lot of these wearable devices.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's going to continue to be one of the developing areas. But let's break it up a little bit from talking about wearable devices, and let's talk about the extremely exciting iPhone 14 and iOS 16.
I will say that I think the one thing that made me the most excited this year was a single feature of the iPhone 14.
Okay.
Sam, any guess on what you think that might be? What is the most exciting single feature of the iPhone 14 for all of 2022?
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
For the phone itself, you're saying?
Yeah.
I know
specific to
what
the
you
phone,
mean.
and I actually think this tells you how much I think 2022 is sort of a sleeper for AT. Right. I think that this one feature was like the best thing that happened to blind people.
And I think Sam's an Android user, so this might be an unfair.
Well, no, I'm both. Okay. So I'm trying to think of what, like, hardware-wise it has on it that would be different.
It is something that is only available on the iPhone 14, but
yeah, I believe I'm almost positive.
But it seemed, so it is actually, because it is actually hardware-based, but it seems weird that it is hardware-based. Yeah.
Oh. It's the startup and shutdown sound
Oh.
that you can turn on. I know. I'm telling you, it's such a dumb feature, but it makes such a huge difference. Why we made it to 2022 before having a startup and shutdown sound on the iPhone 14.
For those who aren't aware, if you have had an iPhone, any other iPhone other than the iPhone 14, when you turn it on
or off,
like you basically, do the turn on or turn off action, but you don't know if it's actually working or not because it doesn't make any noise to indicate until, like, let's say that you're using VoiceOver. If you turn it on, eventually VoiceOver will talk, but it takes a while for that to actually happen. But now, when you turn on the phone, so you hold down the power button or whatever, and you actually get a little chime to let you know that it's turning on.
And it's specific to the iPhone 14 because that chime is hardware-based.
Which is crazy.
Well, because it's doing it before the software
OS is loaded.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense why it is. But
they basically have a little bell inside the phone that somebody rings when it's turning on.
If you shake the phone,
that's
it rings.
so silly to me.
It is very silly, and I think turning off the phone was never was less of an issue.
Yeah.
But I've found for myself, I've many times I have just enough vision where I can tell if something's on the screen. I've many times had to look to see that it was booting up. Yep. And you see, really, people got real nervous when they were updating their phones and it would kind of be restarting. Yep. You just never know for sure.
Yep.
if it was coming on or not, and why it took Apple that long. And again, it's such a it is such a dumb feature to say but it's one of the more
so helpful.
I don't want to say exciting things, but it was one of the better things in 2022.
Well, you were.
I will also point out
it was boring.
I will point out that Android users have had that for like a decade now.
I'm pretty sure the first Android phone had that.
I feel a fight brewing here.
Yeah, because it's the kernel. When the kernel boots up, up before the OS starts, it plays the song.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's no fight, and that was an absolute win for Android.
I mean, I feel like screen reader users. Now, it's not so much of an issue on PC these days because with solid-state drives, the OS loads real quick anyway. But if you're a JAWS user and you turn on the computer before JAWS speaks, it's the same issue.
Although here's
but you can hear the fan at least.
But not, I mean, a lot of the new laptops, the SSDs they're obviously silent, and most of the time the fans aren't coming on. There are so many times I work with clients that they can't tell if it's booting up.
Yes,
that's an issue too. So
so I mean, traditionally when you turn on a computer, you would hear the fan kicking. So even if you hadn't heard your screen reader, at least you'd know that it was on. But yeah, no, you're totally right. That's not necessarily. And you can't hear the hard drive spinning up anymore. No.
And it's it's one of those things. It's like that would be so easy to implement because you could just put it into the BIOS of the computer. That would trigger as soon as you hit the power button.
Error beeps whenever there's a problem, memory issue.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 They could do something for us.
All right, Bill, if you're listening, let's get it sorted in Windows 12.
Pretty sure Bill doesn't care and is not.
Oh, he's watching.
If you're in the chat, Bill.
Bill is watching. There's probably a Bill watching. I don't think the Bill is watching.
The Bill who's watching is going to be really confused.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, wait, what have I got to do with this?
Why do I got to do this?
But yeah, so I mean, Sam, have you had a chance to use the iPhone 14? And if so, any thoughts about it?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'm still way back on the 12 Pro Max. I am.
Sam, you have used the iPhone 14 then.
That's what I was thinking. Like I didn't think there was anything that much different. But I am on fully up to date on 16 and everything, and everything's going well so far anyway.
Let's talk about that in a second. But I just wanted to say to people, just to make it clear that basically the way that Corey and I, and also apparently Sam, feel about the iPhones is that it's just so boring these days when they release a new phone because the features that they add are features that you're very unlikely to even use or care about. And so, I mean, I'm using an iPhone 8 and whatever, I don't even care, it's fine. Well, apart from the fact that actually I dropped it and now the microphone doesn't work, so when people call, they can't hear me. And I still haven't got a new phone.
It's a minor problem, right?
People even calling you is
well, that's the thing, like, it barely even matters these days. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing apart from the turning on and turning off chime.
And I would say it's not iPhone specific. Android phones, the new Pixels, the Galaxies, they're all, most of the time, are always faster processor, better camera. The only ones that are somewhat interesting in the Android environment is like the flip or folding phones. I mean, those are different. They're unique. Something's different there. But other than that, it's better screen.
You could argue it's just gimmicky, though.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and and the costs are just outrageous,
astronomical. But apparently, a lot of people are still willing to pay.
So, there's always a line.
Yeah, as long as they're willing to pay, then Apple and anybody else are just going to keep on pumping out this stuff. Jonathan, are you putting up your hand because you're willing to pay?
No, no, not actually. We just have a note from Spencer Peterson on YouTube saying that could we turn down Sam's audio just a touch?
That would have to be done on Sam's end, I believe.
Okay, well then we can turn us up.
I just turned it down. One click. Is that any better?
One click, so yes, we'll see how that goes. Okay, quick question in the chat here from Diane. Diane asks, do we have a video with instructions on how to use the iPhone for AMD people? Diane, we do. On our YouTube channel, we have a playlist, and in that playlist, there are a few videos regarding iPhone accessibility, and those would be the ones that you'd want to check out because those are going to cover all of the accessibility options that will be relevant to, to AMD. So I am putting in the chat here a link to our YouTube channel. If you need further assistance with accessing that stuff, then you can send us an email and I'll help you. I'll send you some direct links to the playlist. What's our email address? I forget. Is it?
It is TechConnect.
Thank you. Yes.
@vision-forward.org.
Thank you very much. If I can spell, that would be wonderful. Vision-forward. All right, there we go. Cool. So yes, Diane, if you aren't able to find the playlist on our YouTube channel, then just get in touch. Okay, so iOS 16. Okay, it's the 16th iOS, and as you might have guessed, and well, just some spectacular new features, Corey, including
the ability to delete and edit iMessages.
Oh, that's right. We did a video on that, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. So now we do have a video on our YouTube channel about some of these features. So yes, we have how long is it? 4 minutes? A minute?
6 minutes.
Six and a half, I think. Yeah.
6 minminutes, 10 seconds.
Is that actually correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
According to Jonathan, and he
as
is
the man who produced the video.
Yeah, exactly. He should
knows.
know. Well, wait, is that the length of the video, or how long we have to get rid of a message, though?
No, that's the length of the video.
I think you have 2 minutes.
I want to know how long.
2 minutes.
Okay. So with iOS 16, we have 2 minutes in which we can erase a message that we sent to other iPhone
Wait,
users.
I think it's 2 minutes.
Probably.
I'll look it up.
Whatever. Yeah.
So we have 2 minutes.
Confident that
Exactly. We have 2 minutes that we can, in which we can erase a message that we sent to other iPhone users. Now they will see that we've erased the message, but they won't know what the message said. Yeah. So that could be handy. We can also unsend an email. I think we only have like 20 seconds.
20. Yeah, forget it's short.
A short amount of time to unsend an email. So if we accidentally send an email and then regret it instantly, well, then we can undo that. We also have, let's see, we also have the automatic punctuation while we're dictating.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, that actually does work. Although now we've all been trained for the last 5 years.
Well, you say that, Corey, but...
I mean,
yeah, you'd be surprised.
People who have been using dictation.
Well, you say that, Corey. There's a lot of people, I think, out there who just dictate still without thinking about punctuation. Sure. And the auto punctuation works surprisingly well.
Yeah, it did do pretty good.
Yeah, so that was a nice feature.
Door detection and in the magnifier app is good. Yeah. Door, person and image is pretty good. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we covered in our video. Sam, have you had a chance to try iOS 16? I think you said you're fully updated, didn't you? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I haven't really had a time to dive into it, other than the things that everybody's kind of reporting on, you know, how you can take backgrounds out of pictures and then drag it right into a message and all this kind of cool stuff that I'll never use.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, yeah.
That demo is great, but then nobody actually uses them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that background thing, though, that you referred to, Sam, is pretty amazing. Well, I have to say I haven't tried it for myself, but I've seen other people try it on videos, and you can literally, like, if you have taken a photo of something, and let's say there's an object in the photo, and you just want that object from the photo, you can hold your finger down on it, I believe is how it works, and you can literally extract just the object from the photo, and then you, like you say, you can use it in other things. You can message it to people or things like that, and it works, seems to work amazingly well. So. But not necessarily relevant to, you know, vision impairment or anything like that. One thing you can do, though, as well, is you can customize the home screen, and that includes changing the clock. So you can change the clock's kind of font style and color.
Or the lock screen.
Yeah, on the lock screen, yeah. So is that something you experimented with, Sam, at all, or not really?
I have, yeah. I played around with the lock screen thing, just trying to see what how big I can make the clock, because I'm always trying to make it bigger.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Did you manage to get it to a good size, or?
It's not bad. They have a couple, but I wish they would have just a solid bold text clock without a date. I don't care about the date. I already know the date. I just want the clock, and let me make it as big as I want it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think on Android there's some better choices for that. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but there's also a tons of like lock screen replacement apps you can get and things like that. So you just have much more customizable options on Android.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Android is you just have it's a lot less locked down, so you do end up with some more customizable options, including I mean the ability to download complete kind of operating system layers that will sit on top and just make the phone easier to use. Big Launcher is one that has been around for a while, and you know, if you are struggling to use your phone because it's too complex, you can get something like Big Launcher. It sits on top of what you would normally see, and it just has very large, high contrast buttons, and just for the basic features, calling, texting, and things like that. So yeah, that is definitely what I do like about Android. Okay, cool. Do we have anything else to say about iOS 16? If you have an iPhone, probably just upgrade. Cause
I think it's okay to upgrade. Yeah, I don't see any issue upgrading at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was pretty stable, pretty good with voiceover out the gate, I think.
It actually was. Yeah, I was surprised. It fixed a number of bugs. It didn't introduce too many.
Which is surprising.
There's still a number of things there.
There was something significant, Luke. I thought that you said you wish you hadn't have updated because there was some issue.
Oh, that was just because I was using an iPhone 8, which was that was the oldest phone that could update to iOS 16, and it was causing some performance issues. Yeah. But saying that though, since they updated the update, so we're on version 16.2.
I think they're up,
something,
yeah,
maybe?
Something like that.
Something like that now. Actually, the operation seems to be a lot better now. So yeah,
maybe it's because you dropped your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If stuff is being sluggish, just throw your phone at something. You'll be amazed.
Final note on the iPhone, just to clarify, you have 2 minutes to totally delete a message, 15 minutes to edit.
Excellent.
Okay.
2 minutes to delete and 15 to edit. Yeah, we forgot to mention that, but you can also edit your messages, so you don't have to just delete. You can edit.
Like if you text your boss telling him that you're home for a party.
Like I did in the video. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I fired you.
Yeah, and then I said, wait a minute.
We can take all that back.
Yeah, I edited it, and I was like, I was very sick. That's why I was at home.
Now you can too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, God, we're running out of time here already. It's pretty unbelievable. But,
what time is it?
So we have 10:02, and I know Sam has to shoot.
Well, let's let Sam. Let's ask Sam before he has to boogie. Yes. I'm curious what his. I told you that the startup sound on the iPhone 14 was my favorite.
Wait, so for the whole year of everything that came out,
it's what he thinks of.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I mean, look at that list. Tell me I'm wrong. No, the Arx Vision Inspire, the Vision Buddy.
Yeah. But for you,
exactly.
Though.
Those are more low vision. But I think for blindness. Now there has been a lot of other good products coming out for blindness.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the startup sound. So I'm just curious though, Sam, like what for you? What's a standout for 2022?
Well, I saw at CSUN earlier this year, I saw the dot pad, I think is what they're calling it.
Okay, cool. How many lines are we talking about here?
Oh gosh, it was something like 16 by 16, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. And then they had an even larger
16. Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, it was around And then they had a larger one that was 32 by 32, I think is what it was.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it was insane. They could do, full pictures. APH was working on something called the graffiti for a while there, and it's similar to that. But yeah, that was kind of cool. They were demoing that at CSUN. I've got that in my CSUN coverage video.
Let's just break that down a second. So for people who aren't aware, this is basically a Braille tablet device. The issue with Braille devices traditionally has been the number of cells, because the less cells you have, then the less kind of reading you can do. Although that's not exactly true.
So my question on these these full page kind of where it's multi-line Braille displays.
In this case, it's 30 by 10.
Okay.
Explain tell me if I'm not a everyday Braille user. I don't use a Braille display every day. But my thought process on this is it's not so much that you would want one of these multi-line Braille displays for reading, because the refreshable moves pretty fast and refreshes fast.
Yeah.
But its real advantage is what you were just saying a minute, like graphs, pictures, maps, that kind of stuff, right? Is that really where the biggest use case for multi-line displays are? Is that what we're thinking?
I think so, and I think it really for like education for students. For well, this also it's connected to they had it connected to an iPad, and they had a program where it was like a drawing pad, and you could draw on the iPad with your finger, and it would translate over into the cells, so that someone could follow along, and then But yeah,
do you remember these? There was like these plastic boxes with metal pins in, and you could press things into
put your hand in it.
Yeah. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah. But they had pictures of logos. They were demoing like the Facebook logo in 3D on this tablet. So someone who
I think you mean Meta, cool. Sam. Let's.
I'm sorry. Don't come at me, Zuckerberg. Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody has no idea what you always hear smiling emoji with heart eyes, and you have no idea what that even means because you've never seen it.
That's
you could feel it.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, and I know that dots, their cell technology is not the traditional. What is it, piezo they normally use, or with the traditional? I forget. Anyway, it's not. They're not using the traditional cells because the problem historically has been price. I mean, you can make something with a lot of cells, but price-wise, it would be insane. But whatever dot cell technology is, then it's a lot cheaper to manufacture, I think. So they can come out at a better price. And they already have they've had the watch out for a while, which is just like a 4-cell watch and everything. But they've been talking about this, about their tablet for quite a while. But is it commercially available? Do you know, Sam, or is it still in development?
It looked pretty commercially available to me.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Carol says music as well could be displayed.
Oh, read it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the thing with that is, though, it depends whether your instrument needs both hands or not. You know, like if you're playing trumpet, you can't really read the music well, yeah, you could use your foot, I guess. Hey, if you're that skillful, then why not?
Doesn't trumpet only use one hand?
Well, no, because you need to press the levers on the top and hold it with the other.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah, so if you have to use the instrument with 2 hands, then I don't know how you'd read the Braille. But I mean, you could learn it though. I guess you could learn it first.
You could use it for practicing.
Yeah,
or
very cool.
I'm trying to think of an instrument that doesn't use both hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is one. Well, I mean, Def Leppard's drummer only has one arm, right? So
technically that's one. Yeah.
He also didn't need a multi-page Braille display either.
Well, no, but
maybe he couldn't use it anyway.
I feel like even if he did, he still probably would have figured it out because he sounds like the kind of guy who just gets it done. You know, I agree.
Yeah. Somewhat related note: those needle push things are called 3D clone pins. The sort of matrix things where you can press a hand in it. It's called a 3D clone pin.
Okay, great. I never knew the name of those, so there we go.
Look at Jonathan. He's on it, man.
Oh, Carol, Carol says not necessarily for music while playing, but for composing. Awesome. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, very cool. So I wonder whether you could get a composition program on the computer or the iPad or something like that, and then output that out to the tablet.
Perfect.
Well, something that someone was talking about that would be super helpful is like in science class. Demonstrating like the different parts of the cell or a electronic schematic. Those are things that are hard to kind of describe to a blind person.
Circuits.
Circuits,
so if they could actually feel it, that would be so much more.
Geometry.
Yeah. Okay, lots of awesome potential applications. Sam, I don't know, it's 5-2. I don't know if you have to jump off here. If so,
I do, guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I have to run.
No, it's all good. Thanks so much for coming on.
Keep them wanting more. It's a good tech.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Well, we'll speak to you again, Sam. And again, if anybody wants to visit Sam's channel, go to youtube.com/theblindlife. I recommend doing it. He's got some great content.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That's his exit sound effect.
There you go. That's a pretty good one.
Like that one?
Corey, we still have a bunch of stuff to talk about, but sadly we're out of time here as well. So I'm wondering, because we are going to be here next Thursday, and we were talking next 2 weeks, sorry.
Oh, on the 22nd?
Yeah, we are actually going to be here, and we didn't have a show scheduled, but I'm wondering whether we just do one, just me and you, and talk about the rest of these.
I think let's do a combination of chatting a little bit more of this, but I'd also like to do like an AMA. Ask us any, instead of AMA, it would be an AUA.
Ask us anything.
Okay. So you guys can, for those that are going to join us on the 22nd, just bring your own questions. We'll have our stuff here. We'll answer what we know. We'll look up stuff if we don't.
Yeah.
But let's just do sort of like a open-y, forum-y, chatty, question-y, answer-y, talky.
A lot of ease. A lot of ease. Hopefully we won't have any questions as difficult as the one posed by Howard today.
Well, that's why I said we'd bring our computer.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I think any good AT trainer will
find things out.
Will be the first.
But the pressure is, can you find something out live in a short time frame?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll put Corey's...
Test me in 2
we'll put Corey's skills to the test in 2 weeks, come with your questions, and we will also talk about any other assistive technology that we saw this year that we didn't have a chance to talk about today. Sadly, Sam will not be joining us next time, but hopefully Corey and I have enough pull ourselves. We'll see. have an
Well, we'll see.
audience
We'll see
reduction as 50% at least.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say our numbers are half, then we'll know. We didn't want you other half anyway.
All right, everybody, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and we will hope to see you in a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, until then, adios and fare you well.
Bye now.
Thanks for joining us for another Tech Connect Live. If you enjoyed Corey and Luke's antics, be sure to join us next time. For all things Tech Connect, go to vision-forward.org/techconnect.